When you own your own business, an emergency that requires you to step away from your business can be stressful. And I know this as a fellow business owner who was also a working mom, wife, and one who has aging parents. And I've also seen clients go into a tailspin when a member of their team is out, whether it's a planned vacation or not, and they need something done in their business. And that's why today we're going to talk about a topic that's often overlooked by many entrepreneurs: business risk management, so you can be prepared in advance.
Welcome to the Mind Your Time podcast with Shannon Baker. I'm your coffee-loving host and the founder of the Mighty Society. As a business strategist, I work with purpose-driven women looking to achieve personal and financial success, but they're struggling with organization and time management. Together, we're going to tackle those challenges head on so you can regain control of your business and your time. We're going to explore the strategies and tools you need to make your business more efficient so you can achieve sustainable growth while creating a more fulfilling business and personal life, while achieving personal satisfaction and improving your overall well-being. Being busy is not a badge of honor, so get ready to be more intentional with your time and create success on your own terms. So grab your favorite beverage and let's dive into today's topic.
As a solopreneur, it is easy to get caught up in the day-to-day operations of your business without taking time to think about the potential risks that could impact your business. But the reality is that there are many risks that you might not even be aware of, like power outages, internet outages, natural disasters, personal illness, family emergencies, and cyber attacks, just to name a few. Listen to this statistic. According to the Small Business Association, an estimated 25% of businesses do not reopen after major disasters like loss of data or security breaches, or even after natural disasters and electrical fires. That's why it's so important to understand the risks that your business faces so that you can take proactive steps to mitigate those risks. That's where business risk management comes in. By taking time to identify potential vulnerabilities and areas for improvement in your current operations in advance, you can create a backup plan and an emergency preparedness plan that will help your business survive and thrive without you. When an unexpected emergency comes up or situation arises, your business is the last thing on your mind, and you do not have the mental space to deal with the emergency and your business at the same time. Not to mention, some scenarios may mean that you are not physically able to speak. Some people call that the hit by the bus scenario. That's why you need to have a clear plan of action that can be implemented like a break the glass in an emergency type of situation. By not having a plan, you risk facing consequences such as losing important data, losing clients, or even having your business shut down completely. So let's talk about how you can figure out what you need. Well, the first thing you must do is complete a holistic, and that's entire whole, audit of your business operations. You have to identify potential vulnerabilities and areas for improvement in your current operations, and then you need to fix them. And you have to do this before an emergency arises. I can't emphasize that enough. So ask yourself questions like, what would happen if I were unable to work for a month? Or what would happen if my website went down for a day? These are just a few of the types of questions that are going to help you identify potential vulnerabilities in your business and take proactive steps to address them. The great part is you don't have to Google anything or try to go through this audit on your own. The back office assessment that I do is a great place to start. We look at your lifestyle goals, your business goals, your current operations, and then I pull it all together so that we can get them to work in harmony with each other. After that assessment, you get a custom action plan that's going to help you understand the areas that you need to focus your efforts on. It'll identify what you can improve on in your current systems and processes. It's going to help increase your productivity, and it definitely is going to reduce the risk of errors or mismanagement of your business. And it will also identify any critical systems or data that you need to protect and identify how you can do that. Now, if you want to hear more about that assessment and the custom action plan that you receive, which is going to identify again the gaps in your current business operations, which are hurting your bottom line, then be sure to go back and listen to episodes 127 and 128. In episode 127, I'll walk you through the entire process of booking a back office assessment, and I give you the details on what you can expect on that 2-hour call. And then in episode 128, I talk about the importance of actually taking action and implementing the plan that you receive, or you've wasted your time and money. In that episode, I also share 3 implementation options available to you, which range from done with you to done for you. And I'm going to put the links to both of those episodes in the show notes, or you can just simply go to theshannonbaker.com/assessment for more information. So once you have the assessment and you know what gaps you need to fill in your business, you need to create a backup system. Now, what exactly is that? Well, one of the key components of business risk management is having a backup plan. In a nutshell, it's plan B to keep your business running. And there are multiple areas that you need to have a backup plan in place for. Your computer files is the first one. I'm going to stress this multiple times, not just in this episode, but in multiple podcast episodes. Do not store business documents that you use to run your business on your hard drive. Why? Because this means that you're the only person that can access that information. Not to mention, you are going to lose everything if your hard drive crashes and dies, which I have had happen to me twice. What saved me from losing years of work? All of my documents were stored in cloud storage, some in Google Drive and some in Dropbox. And this is very critical, especially if you plan to start outsourcing specifically to a virtual assistant or really anyone else in the future, because they need to have access to the files that you have so that they can complete their work and you don't become the bottleneck because the document that they need is on your hard drive. Or they ask you for a specific file, like your branding information as you start to work with like a graphic designer or web designer, and you have no idea what that is. By the way, if you don't have a brand board, DM me and let me know so I can share some tips with you to help you create one because you need it. It creates consistency in your brand as you show up online. I digress. But anyway, you also need a backup process in place for your website and your blog content. And let me tell you, I have experienced my email being hacked and my website being hacked, and it was not fun to get that cleaned up. But because I had current backups, my website was able to be cleaned up and put back in order because the backups were not infected. So I was able to just upload that content and keep things moving forward. But if you don't back up your files, that cannot happen. Now, if you need help with setting up a digital filing system, then you can go back and listen to the episode where I talk about that in detail. I'm going to put a link to that in the show notes as well. Another thing you need to back up is your CRM contacts. I recommend downloading your email subscribers at least once a quarter, but no less than twice a year. This gives you a parachute in the event that something happens to your email marketing platform. That way you don't lose all of your contacts. And another one that is often forgotten, especially when you start outsourcing, is having a backup plan for people. It's the plan B for when that person is out. Say, for instance, you have a virtual assistant who handles some major tasks on a regular basis, like following up with clients, responding to emails, pitching you to be a guest on podcasts, sorting your inbox because you haven't automated it, etc. What happens when that person is on vacation? Because the things that they're handling still need to be done. And those tasks should not just stop. But if you haven't identified what plan B is in advance in that instance, then you're going to have some problems. So you need to identify that process in advance. Think about this. Is there another person that can handle some of those tasks while they're away so that they don't get backed up? Or do you plan on just adjusting your schedule during that time and completing those tasks yourself until they return? Are some of those tasks something that can be automated so you don't have to worry about it in the future? You need to think about all of that and document it. Your backup plan works hand in hand with an emergency preparedness plan, and both are needed to keep your business running smoothly, whether it's a temporary period of time when you have to step away, or even when you're out of the office, say at a conference or you take vacation. So now I mentioned the emergency preparedness plan. What is that? That is the manual to keep your business in operation. What you have to do is start by creating a notebook for this plan. Yes, you should have an electronic copy and a hard copy. That way, in the case of an emergency, the notebook can be retrieved from your office and put into play. Now, I'm a huge proponent of digital files because you never know when you may need important information. And if it's printed on old-fashioned paper, well, then if you're not home, it's not going to help you. But that's why you need a digital and a paper copy. But that also means that you need to store this binder in a location that can be easily found when needed. And your plan should include all of the details that someone will need to keep your company operating while you're away. Now, some of those items are everything related to your company setup. So that's legal documents, bank account information, your tax information, insurance documents, list of business assets, basically all those things related to the formation of your business. Also list your business accounts and passwords. Or if you use a digital password keeper, make a note of the master password that will get them into your account. You also should list your business expenses. Inside the Mighty Society membership, there is a spreadsheet that the members can grab to list out what the expense is, the day it comes out, what the amount is that they pay, how they're making that payment, whether or not it's monthly, quarterly, or annually. Basically, you can look at this list at a glance and see all of your business expenses. But you also should have an organization chart, which identifies all of your dream team people, what their roles are, and definitely their contact information. This is going to be very helpful if someone has to implement your emergency preparedness plan. Your brand information should also be in this notebook. That's your colors, your fonts, the way that your business looks, whether it's printed or online. It should include a client list with contact information and a copy of your contracts. For instance, I have all of my clients fill out an emergency contact form. Their information is part of my emergency preparedness plan so that in case of emergency, they can be contacted and kept up to date on what's going on. The last big piece of your emergency preparedness plan is all of the SOPs for your business, which we're going to talk about next. So that means you have to document them and store them. Now, what type of SOPs do you need? Well, you need to create a specific process that explains the immediate actions that need to be taken in your absence. And this includes notifying your clients and your dream team. And your dream team should know what actions they need to take in case of an emergency. So that means you should have had this in case of emergency conversation with them in advance. This binder should include, again, your standard SOPs, which is another reason for you to book a back office assessment, because we will work together to implement your action plan and document your SOPs. And as we do that, your emergency preparedness plan is being created. So now, once you've gone through this, you've gotten the audit, you know what you need, you've created your backup plan, you have created this binder for your emergency preparedness plan. Now, who should know about it? Well, one, your spouse should know about the notebook, and you also need to designate a biz bestie So this needs to be someone that you can trust, because giving them this plan or give them access to this plan is like giving them the keys to your empire, your business. So their contact information needs to be included in the plan. You don't want your mate or anyone else in your family having to worry about calling multiple people. They can just call this one person who can then put the plan into play. This one contact makes it so much easier for you, because then they can step in and take over. Now, while they can't do everything that you would do, they can notify your clients of the situation. They can postpone your meetings. They can respond to emails as needed according to your emergency preparedness plan. And again, they will notify your dream team that you're not available so that they can implement the plan that you put in place in advance. So this means you have to have the conversation with your point of contact before they're needed. And you need to give them access to the plan and your SOPs ahead of time. Then let them know where you keep the emergency preparedness binder, and make sure you have a mutual understanding about what they're going to do if they need to step in for you for a short period of time, so you don't have to worry about it. But once your emergency preparedness plan is pretty much put together, make sure you test it with your main point of contact to see how well is likely to perform in the event of an emergency, because it's no good if it doesn't work. Think about things that will cause the most disruption and that are most likely to happen to your business, and then make sure that your plan covers each of those risks. Then make some telephone calls to check that your contacts, you have the up-to-date phone numbers for them and email addresses, and include those in your contact information as well. Remember, no one wants the worst to happen, but sometimes it does. Being prepared makes the unexpected more manageable, and it reduces downtime because your emergency preparedness plan can be implemented to keep things going until you return. That also means that you will continue to generate income, which gives you peace of mind so that you can deal with the emergency situation. And the last thing, don't forget to keep the plan updated. It is a futile point of reference if the information in your plan is out of date. So be sure to review your plan at least once a year, especially that contact information that's included, because we know phone numbers or email addresses can change. So let's review everything that we talked about today and make sure that you and your business are prepared for an emergency. 1, you need to have a backup system and an emergency preparedness plan, because it's crucial for the success and longevity of your business. You also need to conduct an audit of your business operations, which will help you identify potential vulnerabilities and areas that need improvement. Then you need to create a backup plan for your computer files, your website, your blog content, and your email contacts and people, to make sure that you have continuity of your operations. Then when you create your emergency preparedness plan, be sure to include all the necessary details to keep your business running smoothly while you are away. Make sure your spouse and a trusted biz bestie will be able to communicate with each other in case of an emergency. So in conclusion, having a backup system and emergency preparedness plan in place is critical for your business to survive and thrive. The truth is, an unexpected emergency can and will happen, and without proper preparation, it can lead to the end of your business. But if you have a solid plan in place, you can keep your business running smoothly even when you're away, which reduces the downtime and keeps your clients happy. So if you're ready to take the first step in protecting your business, make sure you book a back office assessment. The custom action plan that you receive is going to help you identify those gaps in your operations that may be hurting your bottom line, and then you'll be able to implement the tools along with your plan that's going to keep your business running no matter what happens. Remember, being prepared is the key to success in business and life. So don't wait until it's too late. Start planning today.
I would like to thank you for tuning in this week. But before you go, I want to remind you that just listening to this episode is not going to improve your business operations. So I challenge you to pick one thing that you're going to take action on today. If that means hopping on a call with me to get some questions answered about the Mighty Society membership, a back office assessment, or anything else that you've heard me talk about in this episode, that's okay. Or if you're not quite ready to take that step yet, then just make sure you connect with me on Instagram at @the_Shannon Baker. You can also ask your questions there, or just let me know that you enjoyed the episode by sharing it and tagging me. That's a great way for you to show the podcast some love and help me reach more small business owners who could use this type of support. I can't wait to connect with you there and to hear from you. So until next time, keep calm and streamline.